I don't know why it's not working for you.
I guess, sorry, there's something, Mazi Otunwa, he has been sending the mic, but he's not coming. Please, and go out and come in again. Actually, I've been trying to accept. I've even sent you invite to speak, but I don't know if you are accepting it or you are seeing the request. All right, thank you.
They may be attacking him too.
Okay. All right. I guess it seems Mazi Frank is not there, and he has been here for a very long time now. Maybe I guess Mazi the Prince. If you are
Yeah,
there, can unmute your mic.
he said he's a little busy. He's gonna come back.
Okay, Mazi Christie.
I beg your pardon. I would like us to. I have the document with me, the full context of the full text of the document. If need be, we can go through it.
Which document is that?
The one a brother was referring to earlier, that the document was read and in full context about that new instruction given to missionaries.
Oh, okay, okay. Uh, let's see. If David and Frank is not here, yeah, you could go ahead and read it. Uh, and also, do you know how to post up on the Jumbotron? If possible, if you can post it on there.
No, it's a kind of PDF that you have to open. I will search for it now.
Yeah, open it, take a screenshot, and kind of like upload it to your Twitter, and so that we can also get a hold of the document too.
Um, um, I'm talking to the first, right? The
Yes.
first, let me see if I can send to you on message.
Okay. Okay.
Just
Yeah. Go ahead and read whenever you're ready.
okay. Okay, it's ready.
All right. Go ahead and read.
Letter from King Leopold II of Belgium to colonial missionary 1833. Reverend Father and dear compatriot, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tactics, they mean. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelism must inspire above all Belgium interest. The principal objective in our mission in Congo is never to teach the niggers to know God. This they know already. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one in Zambia, one in Zankoba, and what else I don't know. They know that to kill, to sleep with someone else's wife, to lie and to insult is bad. Have courage to admit it. You are not going to teach them what they know already. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrator and industrial, which means you will go to interpret the gospel in a way it will be the best to protect your interests in that part of the world. For these things, you have to keep watch on disinteresting our savages from the riches that is plenty in their underground, to avoid that they get interest in it and make you murderous, competition, and dream one day to overthrow you. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find texts ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty, like happier are the poor because they will inherit the heaven. And it is very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. You have to detect from them and make them disrespect everything which give courage to affront us, and make reference to their mystic system and their war fetish, warfare protection, which they pretend not to want to abandon and must and you must do everything in your power to make it disappear. Your action will be directed essentially to the younger ones, for they won't revolt when the recommendation of the priest is contrary to their parents' teachings. The children have to learn to obey what the missionary recommends, who is the father of their soul. You must singularly insist on their total submission and obedience. Avoid developing spirit in school. Teach students to read and not to reason. Dear patriots, are some of principles that you must apply. You will find many other books which will be given to you at the end of this conference. Evangelize the nigger so that they stay forever in submission to the white colonialist. So they never revolt against the restraint they are undergoing. Recite every day, happy are those who are weeping, because the kingdom of God is for them. Page 2. Convert always the blacks by using whip. Keep their women in 9 months of submission to work freely for us. Force them to pay you in sign of recognition, goat, chicken, or eggs every time you visit their villages. Make sure that niggers never become rich. Sing every day that it is impossible for the rich to enter the heavens. Make them pay tax each week at Sunday Mass. Use the money supposed for poor to build flourishing business centers. Institute a confessional system which allows you to be good detective, denouncing any black that has a different consciousness contrary to that of the decision maker. Teach the niggers to forget their heroes and to adore only ours. Never present a share to a black that comes to visit you. Don't give him more than 1 cigarette. Never invite him for dinner, even if he gives you chicken every time you arrive at his house. The above speech, which shows the real intention of the Christian missionary in Africa, was exposed on the world to the world by Mr. Makowani Bukoko, born in Congo in 1915, and who in 1935, while working in Congo, bought a second-handed Bible from a Belgian priest who forgot the spirit. I yield my mic. I yield my mic.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, that was something. Goodman, are you here with us? Host, can you take over for a minute while I take care of something?
Yeah, thank you first. Thank you very much. All right, thank you, brother Emeka. Thank you for that wonderful little submission. I don't know if you have actually okay gotten the. Have you shared the thing at the top of the tweet?
Let me see if I can do that now.
Oh, okay. So so that every other person can go there. Case want to make a reverse of that. All right, thank you. On Mazi Frank, I don't know if you are there now. Mazi David, are you there? David Christie. All right. Mazi the Prince.
Yeah, I'm here. Give me some minutes. I'll come down from traffic. Then I'll just give me
Okay.
some traffic.
Mazi, I interview Biafra. Can I meet your mic, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, evening. Welcome, brother.
I greet you, Emeka. I greet you, Maze, good man. The first, I greet you. I greet you, Maze 247, Frank, Agujebe, David, everyone. I greet you. This topic is continuously, is a part by part. We are taking it slowly, slowly, going to finish the meat because it's no one day thing. It's going to be going slowly so that people will assimilate what we are trying to say. You understand? If this topic, I just want to ask if it's only Biafrans, it's only Biafrans that British colonized. I know it will not take us this far to restore Biafra back because the dangerous diversity between us and these other people makes us to belong like this. Let's assume Biafra is a sovereignty, only Biafra that British colonized. Highest, it take us 10 years, we revolt, we get our freedom. But because of this, they know that they want to keep this Biafra because of what we possess. That thing that will make them, that if they colonize us, it will not take them much time for us to revolt against it. Is the reason why they join us with this Nigeria and they came with this religion because they know, just like you should read here now, our leader said that what if you want to be wise, we should go back to the ancient, to the Old Testament to learn our history. Because I don't know how come about this of a New Testament. There's Old Testament, there's some things they change, just as you read here, to suit them. But this New Testament, they just change the thing. Who made the New Testament? So we say we are the Indigo, the ancient people. We have to go back to the ancient, which is the Old Testament. And that is where we are now. That's why we are revealing everything the way it is, because it's this time. This has not been done before. It is first time this generation, is fighting for freedom. So we have to revisit everything. They brought this just like on this Sophia film, what is called Winter Butter, or what do you call? That time, they normally also had that film, but that's how the colonists came. They will tell you this one is no good. They make sure they use someone who loves money, who want to betray his people, just like Osofia acted in that Winter Butter. So they must use someone to do these things. They brought this one, give us this, give us this. That is how our people lose everything. But because of this, they came. They know, yes, we know God. Already we know God. This that we are doing is our history. Is our history. We know God when they came. But because of the way our people normally do before, that made them to go astray, to begin to worship other gods. Now, in terms of our forefathers, during that time, they don't answer this name, she. They normally answer name based on community, whatever disputes, this and this. All those type of name is name they answer. And that's why he said in the Bible that if those that are called by my name shall humble themselves, and I will heal their land and restore. It is us that our land has been dismayed that need to be restored. It is the same us who answer the same God's name, she. In this our generation, we can see this name, she, manifesting. But during this olden time of our forefathers, this name, she, doesn't exist much. So this our generation now is the one who is bearing this she. That's why our leader normally sometimes say, it is in our land we have Shibeze. She is this, she is that, Arojuku. He's bringing those things back to life. It is the same one that I told you, it is in the Biafra land, there's a Star of David. That is time to come to bring those things to light. So we are revisiting those things to bring those things that makes our land to be working before. So this topic is very good. We have to be treating this topic once and every time to people to understand where we are going. So I greet everyone. We are doing a good work. Good man. I thank you, our brother 247. God bless you. You are doing a wonderful job. You are streaming. People are viewing. That is good. I greet everyone. Let me submit here.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I'm back. Frank,
All
we
right.
called on you and we didn't get any response.
I'm
Have
sorry,
you
my brother. I was a little bit busy. I was a little bit busy. I'm back now.
All right,
I'm
go
back
ahead
now.
and give us your submission, and then we'll go to the
All right.
people.
All right.
Let's see, enter
All
Biafra.
right.
Otumanya is finally here. All right, go ahead and give us your submission. And
Okay. Thank you once again for this opportunity. In fact, I don't have much to say again than to say we should keep doing what we are doing. We must restore our dignity. Do you know that Ethiopia Ethiopia people are the only people that was not colonized by these criminals? They revolted. They don't care. They don't want to know anything about the West. And those criminals are trying by all possible means to penetrate them, but they still revolted. They are still fighting, trying to instigate people against them, to use them to penetrate inside of them. Do you know that we are now in 2023, right? But Ethiopia, their year is now 2015. They have their own calendar, only them in Africa. But today, I thank God, many African nations are waking up. They are waking up to destroy this Western criminality in Africa. And I believe the freedom of Biafra will be the freedom of every African nation. And this is the reason why we must never relent. It is do or die. We must keep fighting. We must keep pushing. If touching the trigger is the next option, in fact, the trigger is even being touched every day. But until when they would like to make it open, or if they don't want to declare it, we declare it by ourselves, because we must clear Biafra. We must trigger them to come against us, so that the world will know the kind of people we are made of. I don't want to talk much again. I want to eat my mic here so that other people can speak. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We are
thank
doing
you,
wonders. Thank you.
thank you. You know, you said something that I really like. You said we must do what we need to do, whether the level likes it or not, to show the world that we are ready. If Mazen Namda kind of said that he was writing letters, he wrote letters, wrote, sent documents, evidences after evidences, nothing happened. And then that's when the white man asked him, "What have you done? If everything that you've been telling us, what have you done?" You know, so far all they do is, "Oh, Nigeria investigate this. Nigeria, the same terrorist government you're telling them to investigate the genocide happening to Biafra people, the same people that are perpetuating the genocide." So we have to show them what we are made of. We have to show them that this generation of Biafra, that we are not that we are not like the ones that came right after the war, because those ones that came after I'm sorry to say, but those that came immediately after the war, they are the cowards that are selling us out like it's nobody's business. They are the ones that telling, oh, you weren't here when the war was fought. What is happening now? What's the difference between what happened since after the genocide and until today? More people have died in between that than those that actually died during the war. More Biafrans have died because of one Nigeria, more today, more than they did during the war. But it's not being reported. We've seen it just by the protest that happened the other day. How many people? Over 50 people more down, 100 missing. And this is the one that they recorded. Those people that are missing, I'm telling you, not maybe 20% of those people may actually be found in a DSS dungeon or Nigerian prison somewhere. The rest of them will be unaccounted for. They will either kill them, throw them in the river, and you're telling me that we're not already at war. A country that's not at war, but you have IDPs scattered all over the country. No. At some point, we have to say enough is enough. And this generation, we have to say enough is enough. The worst thing you can do to your family, the worst thing you can do to your generation is to let them inherit Nigeria. If the only thing you give to your generation is Biafra, that will be the biggest thing the biggest contribution you could do to your generation, because that they will remember for the rest of your life. You can give them all the money in the world, you can build them mansions in Nigeria, and they will never remember you for that, because that mansion, give it about 3 years, Nigerian government will either knock it down like they did whenever they feel like they want to build something better, they will knock it down because you're not safe. You don't own anything. Nowhere is safe. We saw what happened to Odumeje's church when they decided, you know what, we're gonna mow it down, and they brought down the buildings, and that's how they roll. Nobody, there was no apology, nothing. A governor can decide today, this is what I want to do, and nobody will question that. A president can say shoot at sight, no judgment, nothing, just execute. They become judges, they become executioner. And you want us to remain in the same country? No, we must resist it, and we must fight it until the last man standing. Russians are doing it, Ukrainians are doing it. I don't see a reason why we can't do it. Freedom, nobody will ever give you freedom. It's because freedom was handed over to Africans. That's why we're in this mess. Because when they hand you over, when they give you your freedom, they will always attach something to it. If somebody hands you freedom, they will attach something to it. That's why you have to fight your way to freedom. You don't beg your way through to freedom. A freedom that you got by begging, just like what Africans got, it always comes with a lot of things attached to it. You end up with a company instead of having a total freedom. You end up with a company. And I understand those that are saying, oh, what if Nigeria restructure? What if, if everything goes well and Nigeria becomes this utopia that everybody is dreaming about, and then you have regional government and everything, and the constitution change and all that. And I'm like, really? Do we really want to try that? Haven't we already tried it? What happens the next time somebody decides to 2-3 years after doing all these things, 2-3 years, somebody decides, all right, we're gonna have another coup. All that hard work, everybody that just died, and then we just go back to square zero. No, total liberation is what we're after. Total freedom, because that's the only way we can actually look, and our ancestors would actually smile at us, because we have really screwed up big time. Go ahead, Mazi Paul, and then Emeka will speak after that. Please raise your hand. That way we know who haven't spoken yet, and we'll give them the mic. Mazi Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, my brother, for giving me the mic, host, and everyone that is here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your location. You see, there is nothing like restructuring the way to Ethiopia, as you mentioned. Anybody that is saying that is saying nonsense. The same restructuring Ojukwu went for Abuja Accord. What happened? they gave us a war, and more than 5 million Biafrans paid the price. And up till now, our people are still paying the price. The reason why I just requested for Mike is because of what Emeka read. You know, where they said, you know, that they should abolish them. Anybody that rise up or challenge the authority. So I was thinking, something struck on my mind. I'm like, oh, is that where the Osuka system started? Is that why we are having a Osuka system? Because what happened is that during slave time, our people that rise up to challenge the Mwadisi, colonial masters, we are ostracized from our communities. So based on what he read, so that was what struck on my mind. Oh, is that where this thing came from? That's why we have a Osuka system in our place. Some people we abolish, which Onion did something and they reversed the whole thing. So when you look at what Emeka read, you know, if you try to fix the puzzle, you see a lot of things are beginning to make sense right now. You know, to show that these people, they knew exactly what they did. That's why they said, based on what he read, that's why they said teach their children. You know, instead of teaching the elderly one, they say teach their children so that they will revolt against their fathers. So that means this is intentional. This was on purpose in order to, you know, brainwash our people for them to be able to subjugate us and milk the natural resources in our land. So that's just what I want to point out for now. You know, I'm going to leave it for right here because I'm a little bit busy. Thank you. Please take the mic off me, please. I'm a little bit busy, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you, Mazi. We appreciate you coming through and giving us your 2 cents. I'm taking you down, and you can always come back whenever you're free. Let's go to we have our sister Stella here. We're gonna Stella, hold on. We're gonna go to Nemeka. Nemeka, mute yourself. Nemeka, if you can hear me, unmute yourself.
Good evening, Biafrans. Can you people hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Biafrans. I appreciate all of you. I greet you people once again. In fact, this topic today, in fact, I don't know. I'm so happy for this very topic because this is the root of our problem. Our problem started from the colonization, and especially they used the church, the Christianity, the Catholic Church. They played a very dangerous role in subjugating us to poverty, forever poverty, mental slavery. They cage our mind, and for us to come out of it won't be easy. Because some people now that may listen to this program, they may tag us Biafran agitators, they may tag us something else. But what we are saying is just the simple truth. From this document you people are reading now, from the Leopold the King of, I don't know where he came from. Is it Belgium or where? This is not only him. If you watch what happened last week, Sunday, this very week, the Pope that headed the Catholic Church, me, I was a Catholic, I was born a Catholic, I was initiated in a Catholic church. You know, in this Catholic doctrine, if you have a baby, you must initiate your baby. They call it, I don't know how, that is child presentation. You must initiate your child into that very church. You must. And from there, from childhood, we begin to attend what they call the block rosary every evening. Instead of us to use those time to invent and to do research in technology, we begin to learn how to play Ekene Maria. We begin to learn how to play Angel Michael play for us. We realize we will forget our own ancestors, the heroes of our own side. This is their primary plan, and the thing worked. If you talk about against Christianity in Nigeria, especially in Igbo land, I'm telling you the truth. Your father can disown you because I know what my father did to me. Not that I denounce, so just that I do small loggerhead as a child that time. My father will wipe hell out of me. That I did not attend block rosary in the evening. After I go to school, I will come back, I will go to fetch water, in the village, or go to fetch firewood. You come back, you help your mother in the kitchen. 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, you already rush into block rosary. Players and then come back. They will shape our life into believing in their culture, believing in whatever they want. And this thing has been going on for many, many years. To tell you people the truth, for us to come out of this is a very big war. It's not an easy something. Like as I was saying, let me just lead what happened just this very week. Pope of Vatican is begging the world for forgiveness. This thing I'm telling you happened just some days ago on Sunday. Why he began to beg? Because he's afraid to die. If you watch the news, you will find out that he had a problem last week. Like beginning of last week, he was hospitalized because he have a respiratory system. He can't breathe well. Maybe he's afraid to die. Now he came out from that hospital. He began to beg for forgiveness for the role the Catholic Church, the Pope, play in with these Europeans, the role they play, because that time the church, especially the Catholic Church, they have the authority, they have the power. They give them power to do us all these things. Let me lead it out a little bit out for you. Because if I will tell you that the Vatican helped European colonize the world, that it justified European colonization in the name of spreading Christianity, that they are papal, that is papal means pope, papal decree that allow European empire to take over entire country, and for what? To allow colonizers to subjugate people, to take away their lands, wage war on their culture. You hit the Pope is making this exposition, asking for forgiveness. I'm not the one saying it. If you go to a Vatican portal, you will see this very message, this very news on Sunday, this last Sunday. To attack on their culture, impose a self-conceived nation of rascal superiority over them, and allow this just because the colonizers claim that they were the ones who discover new lands. Somebody who came from Europe, we are there before they come. They will not say that they discover us. That means where are we when they came? And all these things, they are just claiming that they discover us in our own land. Okay. So they had a right to rule over those new lands. Now the Vatican has come forward and recognized for what it did. It has apologized for helping the colonizers. Here a report. Have you heard something called the doctrine of discovery? Doctrine of discovery. It's Europe version of finders, keepers. It's what European colonizers used to subject the world. The doctrine was cited by Europeans who discover new lands, and the doctrine traces its root back to the Vatican and the Catholic Church. Now, the church has apologized for helping colonizers in their conquest on this very Thursday, last Thursday. Tomorrow will be a week. The Vatican issued an unprecedented statement. It officially apologized for its historical role in justifying colonizers by European powers. The Vatican said the Roman Catholic Church reputates these concepts that fall to recognize peoples, including what has become known as the legal and the political doctrine of discovery. It also declared that the doctrine is not part of the Christian faith, but the Vatican is centuries late. The doctrine of discovery is concept laid out in the so-called papal decree. Catholic Church, that would be the Pope, so no less than the popes were involved in justifying European colonialism. Their decree were used extensively in the conquest of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Africa, and the United States. The colonizers claimed that they had the approval of the church to have sovereignty over people's property and the commercials rights, lands. The discovery here as an example, people decrease in the 15th century permitted Portugal to subjugate Muslim and non-Christians in Africa. That's not even the ugliest part of this decree. The Vatican was quite explicit when it comes to who Europe could colonize. It would only be non-Christians. So colonizers were easily used as a tool by the Vatican to spread Christianity across the world, and the colonized countries paid a huge price to take Canada, for instance, between the 19th and 20th century. More than 150,000 indigenous children were taken hostage in Canada. They were snatched away from their family and lodged against their will in the education institution. Here they were subjected to unspeakable atrocities. They were physically assaulted and sexually abused. Many of them didn't survive. They were buried in the mass grave that are still being discovered in Canada. Last year, Pope Francis visited Canada. He apologized to the indigenous people for what the Vatican put them through. In 2015 too, the Pope apologized for the Catholic Church action in Bolivia. He sought forgiveness not only for the offenses of the church, but also for the crime committed against the native people during the so-called conquest of America. Just so you know. So my brothers, why I'm leading all these things is just for you to know these things we are discussing now. What the church did to us is unspeakable. Everything you guys read in that document, in fact, I know that even is more than that. Because these people, they came with the Bible. They came with in fact, this thing is paining me. You are teaching us about Christianity in one hand. The other hand, you are taking away our property. You are taking away our children. You are abusing them sexually. You are abusing them you are insulting them. You are assaulting them. You take away our natural resources. Up to today, my problem is not that they took these things and leave. Up to today, they still don't want us to be free in any means. Look at us here. Look at us, Biafrans. We are here fighting for freedom. We realize that the Europeans, are planning for the future, planning for what will happen, how Europe will be in the 2050. They're already making the plans today. But they came to us, they told us that there is heaven. Where is that heaven? When they are busy, do you know the reason why they build both train, both this big ship? When you see, the somebody who built this ship, all those things, just when they are packing the property of Africa or any place they colonize, they want to pack everything to their country. These people are very hungry before, but they are also very, very greedy. They took away everything they see in Africa, even ordinary.
Start to round up, okay? We need to give other people chance to speak.
My major point is that we Africans, we should begin to think now on how to go back to our roots, to know our culture, to worship God, the real God, in our own way. We should, in fact, if we see anything Christian,